What's going on, guys? It is T90 Official, and I have an Age of Empires 2 game for you. I know, surprise. T90 Official uploading Age of Empires 2 content. What's next? Fortnite? I mean, this is pretty unheard of. Anyway, we have an arena game, and this is a special one. Now, I really like casting arena. I say this a lot on my live stream because it's very slow and relaxed, and it gives us lots of time to discuss what could potentially happen. So we'll do that right now. Our two participants in this game is JonSlow, the legend. He's in the green playing as the Mayans, and then in the red we have Viper. Viper is playing as the Spanish, and if you've been around Age of Empires for a little while, you probably know that Viper is the best player in the world. Viper took a pretty long hiatus from the game. And he hasn't been playing a lot of rated games. He's participated in a few recent tournaments, but as far as his rated games go, just ladder games as they would call it, he hasn't been very active. And as far as I know, he'll be more active, and this is one of his most recent games versus JonSlow. I spoke to JonSlow about it, and his message to me was only Viper would do this. So we'll talk about the maps, we could talk about the civs and the strategies, but it's good to see Viper back. He doesn't have his yellow yet, which is unfortunate for us, but, I can deal with red. So the map is arena. You start with stone walls, and stone walls give you some protection, give you time to choose a strategy and have a nice, peaceful Dark Age. It's a really calm map, as I said, and I think it's a cool map for casting because I have that time that I mentioned. I'll start with the maps. Viper actually had a bugged map. So you see his sheep are out here. I know sheep for him, and I know pig, I know pig. But he should be fine. Fortunately for him, all he really needs to do is cut out of here. I think if it was a tournament, this is where you call restart, because this first lumber camp is not ideal. But he realizes, hey, it's fine. I'll get my sheep out after chopping that tree. A little bit of force, nothing practice, and then I'll get to everything else I need. JonSlow, his map seems pretty good. I mean, both players have decent maps. Viper's main gold is here. His secondary gold is here. JonSlow's main gold is here, and his secondary gold is here. Mayans typically go to their stone, so this stone is not ideal for JonSlow. If Viper were to somehow be aggressive against that, with the tower maybe, which you see him in arena meme games sometimes, that could be a problem, but he does have this stone back here. And then Viper's stones are here and here. I'm honestly not going to talk about the maps too much. I think we'll just wait until they are on their way to Castle Age to discuss maybe the importance of the maps if it matters, but I highly doubt in this particular game it'll matter. Oh! Wait, what? Viper! I was gonna speed through Dark Age, Viper! Oh, best player in the world. He's not even human, this guy's so good. Apparently he is human, jeez. Alright, we saw that in fast speed. I think what happened for him was his villager got caught up here in the trees, and the pig got enough hits in there to kill his vill, so even a player like the Viper makes mistakes, guys. That'll probably make a lot of you feel good on YouTube. Recently uploaded the first episode of the Troll series, where I play some viewers, and people said, man, T90's not even... I forget exactly how you all worded it. There were a lot of comments, but one individual said that sometimes he feels like he used to play the game and he could come back and he could get really good, and then he sees me play and just gets discouraged. Well, there you go. Viper makes mistakes too, okay? Viper makes mistakes too. And this guy, the guy who just lost that villager in embarrassing fashion, he would destroy me. So it might make you guys feel good that Viper made that mistake, but it makes me feel bad because I know that Viper could make that mistake and destroy me. And I dedicate my life to this game. So Mayans and Spanish, two very common arena civilizations. The Mayan civilization is known for their plumed archers. So they'll both be going fast castle in this game, and you'll see JonSlow send 2 or 3 villagers to stone, as well as sending some villagers to gold. And the idea behind that is just to start collecting the stone so you can build a castle in Castle Age, and then once you build that castle, you can make those plumes. And the cool thing about Mayans is their unique unit's rather cheap, and so you're able to also add a lot of economy behind that castle. Normally, if you invest into a castle, it's a big expense, and so it slows down your economy. That's not really the case with Mayans. A Viper He could also go to stone and go for conquistadors. I think both of these civs are known for using their unique units, whether that's in an arena or Arabia or whatever lands map you might see. He has not gone to gold or anything yet. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. I won't talk about the specifics at the moment, but I'll tell you one thing. This is not going to be your traditional Spanish strategy for the Viper. JonSlow is known for his memes. I love the guy, man. When he plays arena, it's always fun. It's always different. Of course, he plays more serious games at times, but for the most part, he's just trying to entertain and have fun, which I can appreciate. And I'm sure you guys can appreciate. And the Viper was going to follow suit in this game. And it will honestly be the first time. Oh my goodness. Hope you guys didn't hear anything there. My mic started falling and I caught it mid-sentence. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think this will be the first time that I've ever seen this strategy on Arena. And to be transparent with you guys, I haven't actually seen the whole game myself. I just kind of heard that this one was a good one to watch. And I'm sure if you've seen the thumbnail, I'm sure if you have seen the title of the video, that you have some ideas of what we might be seeing. I won't talk about that just yet, alright? I won't talk about that just yet. JonSlow, he clicks up to the castle age. Pretty solid time for him, 28 villagers. A Viper will be just behind him after finishing this blacksmith. And notice he is going to stone now. So the build order was a bit different. The timing of going to resources was a bit different than what JonSlow did. But they seem to both want to build a castle. Normally what you would see is you would see the Spanish player build their castle on the front. So Viper, this would be a great situation for a castle. Delete these stone walls, position it here. It would protect his golds on the front. I think one of these is JonSlow's and one of these is his. Excuse me, sorry. Apparently I'm allergic to castle placements, but yeah, you build the castle on the front, make conquistadors, and conquistadors are actually quite good against plumed archers in early castle age, because the plumed archers, you need a large mass of them, and the plumed archers you would also need to invest into fletching and bodkin arrow, which are the range / attack upgrades. But for the conquistador, you don't really need to get many upgrades, and they have 6 range as base range. It doesn't get any more than that, so it can be a struggle long term, but certainly in early castle they're good. Now we'll need to keep an eye on the scouts here, because if both players are going to place castles, the positioning of these castles is going to be something they need to see. Now Viper, he will not want to fight this. He does not want to fight that eagle, but what he wants to know is, okay, is my opponent going to be building a castle? And yes, Viper sees that his opponent is building a castle there. Now at the same time, what is he doing? He's sending villagers forward. So this is the first thing from this game that is extremely unorthodox. I had already mentioned that safe castle is the way to go, and behind that you normally add town centers. Notice how Viper is not adding any extra town centers, just a forward castle. So you might be asking, well, what on earth is Viper going to do with this? Why a forward castle? Well, I'm not sure. I'm not truly sure. JonSlow's going to come in here with his Eagle Warrior and try and pick off a villager. And he probably should have killed that one, but he misses out on killing it. And now his Eagle's going to pay the price. But anyway, Viper builds a forward castle. He's making a conquistador. If he makes more, maybe the logic here is to shoot down the walls with his castle. And then, you know, break on in and use his conquistadors to kill things. But no! Monasteries, baby! Monasteries and the Inquisition upgrade now for Viper. So let's slow down the game here for a moment and talk this through. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, not even JonSlow, expects the Spanish Inquisition. Finally, that sentence can relate to Age of Empires 2. Viper is making missionaries, and he has researched the Inquisition upgrade. Now, the Inquisition upgrade basically increases the conversion time. So it's a faster conversion for your missionaries and also your monks. All conversions in Age of Empires 2 have a min and a max time, and I don't have that exact time written down here. But what Inquisition does is it makes it faster, right? It affects the min-max time, as it said there. 2 missionaries on the way for Viper. And the beautiful thing about this is that JonSlow can't see this. Now, if you're wondering if JonSlow can see this little desert area out here, that's actually not the case. That's a spectator bug. The reason that we see that in the Fog of War is because I've already seen Viper's point of view, okay? So what JonSlow could do is he could scan, he could try and build something, and he could say, okay, there's something out here, but he would never be able to know that those are monasteries, a barracks, and a stable. Viper, using a scout wisely here, has actually killed 2 monks from JonSlow. So JonSlow was hoping to snag a couple relics. He already has 1. He ran out here, and that's some high-level stuff from the Viper, using his scout that he kept alive to pick off 2 monks, and I bet you JonSlow was probably wishing he had missionaries so he could run away from that. What's super cool about these missionaries, guys, is that they are affected by the Bloodlines upgrade. So Bloodlines will actually give them more HP. That's why Viper has built the stable. The main differences you'll find with the missionaries is that they are faster, they cannot pick up relics, and they have less range. Those are the 3 big things. So pro players typically opt for monks because monks have 9 range, which is very good, and it can also pick up relics. But here Viper, does he have a second town center creating villagers? No. He's just making missionaries, and he's getting the upgrades on them as well. So after Bloodlines completes and Sanctity completes, which affects the HP on these 2, he's at 65 HP with these. And JonSlow is expecting some type of a Treb push from Viper. And now he's laughing with the 11 taunt. You know, he was not expecting missionaries. He's probably thinking, you've got to be kidding me. He probably doesn't know what to do now. He's halfway to the Imperial Age, and he's gone up rather early because he realizes the importance of trebbing down this castle if trebuchets are going to be created from it, but that's not the case. So Viper has used 1 or 2 monks, I think just 1 monk to collect relics, and now he's creating missionaries, and he's also created petards. Like this is really exciting stuff, guys. Viper currently has 10 missionaries, and that could equal 10 conversions for him. So JonSlow can't easily engage this. He only has 7 plumed archers. And in theory, if Viper's micro is good enough, and if Inquisition works fast enough, then this could, I don't want to say be the game, but it could be a real pickle for JonSlow. So Viper needs to wait for that Redemption upgrade to finish. Once Redemption finishes, he'll be able to convert all of JonSlow's buildings. There are a few exceptions, like you can't convert the monastery here, for example, but he can convert the houses and then delete the houses after he converts them and run on in. And there he goes, getting the conversions on the houses. Now, normally this takes a long time. With Inquisition, it should be a bit faster, and it should be around now. Now? Yeah, I mean, I don't have a side-by-side comparison of non-Inquisition house conversions and Inquisition house conversions, but here comes Viper with these donkey monks, and they're getting conversions. 2 conversions. Viper actually has the same amount of villagers as JonSlow after these conversions, and he's building a tower immediately with the converts. Now JonSlow has researched bracers, so he has 7 range. That's the same range as the missionaries. And JonSlow picks off 1 missionary. Now I noticed that took 2 volleys. Viper, he's one of the fastest players the game has ever seen. And he goes in for conversions. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3, he gets 4, he gets 5! He gets 5 conversions! Wow, Viper gets 5 conversions? At least I believe it was 5. And it could be 6 and it could be 7 here if JonSlow's not careful. And it is! Viper has 68 population. JonSlow, he might be trebbing this castle down, but he's only at 43 population. Viper has gone for the incredibly trolly and vulnerable strategy of going for missionaries, and it's actually paid off. And now this tower that he's building with the 2 villagers he converted is going to be in range of this gold. JonSlow needs to build a castle here to secure that again, and Viper comes in with the plumes he just converted, and with the missionaries. The Spanish Inquisition was unexpected, and man is it working here. 2 Vil kills, 3 Vil conversions, another Vil kill, another one, and another one featuring DJ Khaled. My goodness! JonSlow's down to 35 villagers. He's 15 villagers behind. And now Viper, he just strolls on out of here. These things are so quick. They just leave. It wasn't really a just passing moment. It was a just converting moment, I guess. But Blue Coffee would still be proud of that. My goodness. And so Viper goes, okay, time for Imp now. It's time for the Imperial Age. We've done enough damage. What he wants is to get more upgrades on these donkeys. So in the Imperial Age, he can get block printing, which gives monks and missionaries plus 3 range. So it would go from 7 to 10 range, which means 10 range would be better than the plumes could possibly get. And then, of course, illumination, and basically any upgrade that can help with the recharging of the monks and the fast conversions. Now there's another unique tech, which we've seen more often than the Inquisition unique tech for Spanish, and that would be Supremacy. And what that does is it makes your villagers turn into Rambo all of a sudden. They're very tanky, but I don't think Viper has the Vil count to use Supremacy. Though he is actually adding extra town centers. I am recording this on a Wednesday, and I don't want to turn any fans away here, but I'm a Manchester United fan, and currently my team is up 2-1 versus PSG, and I mean, I still don't even expect United to have a chance. We have so many injuries, and it's just a bad situation for us. PSG is a very good team, but anyway, we're winning, and so I chugged a whole cup of coffee and came here at halftime to cast the game, and I'm all hyped up, so I'm misspeaking. But back to what I was saying, Viper, he is on 3 TCs, creating villagers, so his Vil count should rise. JonSlow, he is on 2 town centers, and he has a lot of plumes. Viper could lose the game in one moment. If the plumes come out and get not upgrades, they kill the missionaries, Viper can't afford to create more of these. He can only afford so many missionary losses. It is 100 gold a missionary. So this is a much more expensive army, if you compare that to what JonSlow has. And Viper, he hasn't finished block printing on Illumination and Theocracy. Those are the 3 big ones, and Viper's just sitting there. Oh no! You know, the missionaries were reading the daily... I don't know. I don't know what they're reading. They're reading something, waiting for block printing, and Viper, you know, he saves the day a bit here with some conversions, but he's just lost 1,000 gold. Those missionaries, so expensive. Oh, that was not good, man. That was not good. Viper's KD is looking awful now. Keep in mind that many of the units that he lost were units that he converted anyway. But that was not good. That was the one thing he couldn't do. He couldn't lose his missionary numbers. He does have more villagers. He does have 3 relics. And he does now have his missionary upgrades. And it's the Viper, right? We're not talking about some pleb like T90 Official. We're talking about the Viper. It's just hilarious, man. These things, like, you never see this. These things look so awesome. Oh, JonSlow needs to be careful. Missionaries have to go to the base of the trebuchet to get conversions like this. But it is pretty quick with Inquisition, as we've seen. If Viper now approaches the plumes, he gets 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might be getting the count off of all the conversions Viper has gotten here, but that's a lot of converts. Still, though, not going to be enough. He needs to run back. Now, just imagine if he had those 10 missionaries that he lost early on. I've been bringing this up a lot recently, and I do apologize for not even knowing. I think it's the Centennial Islands. I think that's the name of it, but if I get it wrong, apologies. This is like the Centennial Island where that missionary went to preach the gospel or something to these indigenous people, and then he got shot with a bunch of arrows. It's like Viper versus JonSlow here. This JonSlow is the Centennial Island, and Viper is trying to preach the word to them. Say, hey, listen, come to us, believe in God. Now, JonSlow's people are researching heresy, which means that they would rather die than to go to the enemy team. And from a competitive standpoint, it's actually quite a big upgrade to get against monks. So now that means that every time Viper does complete a conversion, JonSlow's unit dies instead of going into Viper's color. Which is very good, because if Viper were to convert half this army, then that army would fight for him. And now that's not the case, and immediately after the upgrade, JonSlow goes in, and I think Viper realizes now that the plumes are dying that that is the case. Now, look how many kills he got there. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6-ish. Now, something to remember is that Viper will not actually get kills in the KD, okay? It still counts as conversions. And JonSlow is at 95 population, playing this, for the most part, completely standard. And Viper's still making missionaries. He has a Vil lead. And he's coming out to micro these missionaries. And he goes, oh nope, I need to get out of here. They're so quick. They're faster than plumed archers. It's hilarious. Like, oh, I need to get out of here. Just passing. Viper, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't throw these guys away. JonSlow didn't even give them an opportunity to preach there, and Viper gets a big head start on these conversions. A lot of the plumed archers for JonSlow are dying. Still, the one thing in the back of my mind is that JonSlow's units are just so cheap in comparison. Viper got a lot of kills there, though. It's so difficult to judge. So very difficult to judge. Actually, let's go over here and just check the achievements real quick. How many conversions has it been for Viper? 47! So let's pretend those were kills. That's almost even. Wow. I wasn't expecting it to be that high. I thought it would be something like, I don't know, 30? For those that don't play this game, you need to click a lot with monks, and you need to click accurately as well. It's not easy to do. In fact, I refuse to do it. Like, I'll go with 5 monks maybe, but beyond that, no thank you. I'd rather die. I'd rather die, and those rams died for JonSlow. Viper ran right up next to him, got the conversions, forcing the rams to die. And now he's retreating with his missionaries and now going in for conversions. It's like a hit and run, but it's a hit and convert. Look at this. No longer are we going to see hit and run and split micro from Viper. We're going to see convert and run. Look at the micro. Look at the donkey, man. That poor donkey. He didn't ask for this. And Viper, he needs to get out of here again. There's the split. Yeah, the hit and convert. He's doing it again. He's gotten quite a few conversions there. He's holding on, guys, but I just don't know if this can last very long. Wow, JonSlow deleted a trebuchet. JonSlow deleted a trebuchet here. Wait, no, that doesn't necessarily mean he deletes it. I guess that was a dumb comment on my part, I admit, because I already explained that with Heresy that the trebuchet just dies, so he didn't delete it. It was just converted, and it's died. That's a lot of value. That's a lot of damage for Viper, killing the siege, killing the treb. He did lose his relics, though. Really should have taken the relics back here. Now, Viper research supremacy. That's that other unique tech for Spanish. So now look at the stats on these villagers. Compare that to the villagers of JonSlow. Pretty big difference there. So maybe Viper can use the villagers as a distraction. The other crazy thing is the villagers will be healed by the missionaries. That's a lot of plumed archers, though, for JonSlow. JonSlow is also targeting the missionaries. Oh, he's doing such a good job here. Yep, very good job from JonSlow. The Viper has lost far too many missionaries in this game. I mean, if this was a serious game, first off, Viper would not have gone for this strategy, but second, he would have transitioned something else in. Like Cavalier or Skirmishers, you know. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Viper has something against weapons. Maybe his people just aren't about that. No guns. I think he queued up a Conquistador. Now, he had 1 Conquistador. So he only had 1 gun. Hasn't used any spears. Even the scout he started with here, I don't even know what they hold. It sounds like they're slapping the other units. It's not a weapon. Maybe it's like a small wooden mallet. Viper considering going with Vills on Vills on Vills, and he's adding more TCs. Look! Look! Boom, boom. All these TCs creating villagers. Viper wants to sacrifice villagers to give the missionaries time to convert more villagers. Now, meanwhile, JonSlow is collecting the relics, which is really going to help him. He has Elite Plume. He is missing the chemistry upgrade, which is quite a big deal. That's less attack for his plumed archers. But still, Elite Plumed Archers. If you've been around the age scene over the past year or so, you know how strong the plumes can be. We see it all the time. Oh no, Viper's game is frozen. JonSlow, stop it! Okay, so it was nice of JonSlow to run back. I was told that there were 2 parts to this, so I just need to hop into the next part. Viper, unfortunate to lose 2 missionaries because his game froze up. But we're back in the game, and we know exactly what he's going for here. He'll go for Vills and missionaries. Now, he doesn't have a lot of gold. And he doesn't have control of this gold. This is Viper's only gold remaining. He has 800 there. And that will buy him 8 more missionaries. Charge! Nobody expected the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expected the Supremacy Vill Rush. And here comes Viper. These villagers are like zombies. And the missionaries behind are going for conversions. Now, quite honestly, there's very few players who could even come close to having success with this strategy versus Mayans. And Viper is obviously one of them. He can't get his villagers in here. It's a traffic jam. He's trying to attack this castle. And the hilarious thing is it's actually forcing JonSlow to repair the castle. So he has a castle back here as cover fire. And then he has to repair it with all of his villagers. That's just how much JonSlow had to do to stop that. So Viper realizes, okay, listen, these villagers didn't do anything. Okay, we don't have to sacrifice them. They don't deserve this. We need to wait until we're in a position to fight and get the victory. Never mind. He's sending his villagers back in, but he has trebuchets here, guys. He has trebuchets. He could start trebbing down the castle. This is probably one of the worst kill-death ratios you'll ever see for a player that has come close to winning. 25 kills, 142 deaths for Viper. If you look at the deaths for JonSlow, you can get more of an idea of just how many conversions Viper's been getting. So it's more even than you think. And now for Viper, he just needs to give himself time. Give himself time, but there's 65 plumed archers. And his missionaries are running out of faith. They're running out of support. And the missionaries are getting whittled down. JonSlow is still repairing his castle, or he should in a moment. And Viper doesn't have a lot left now. It's 160 population for JonSlow. All of his focus now will be on killing the missionaries. And Viper, he's at the lowest population he's been at in a while. Every single missionary will die. And his villagers are desperately repairing the trebuchets. And sure, they're strong. But they're eventually going to die as well. And you know, what a ridiculous game. I mean, only the Viper could come this close to winning a game using this strategy. Obviously, could have tech switched into something else, and he didn't. I imagine the GG's probably got to be coming in here shortly. Yeah, there we go. A Viper calls the GG. Alright, so I can tell you now that, you know, I saw part of this. I didn't see the whole match, and I spoke to JonSlow about it. And JonSlow literally said only Viper can make a game that close, or can last 50 minutes going missionaries and Vills versus Mayan plumed archers. I feel like there was more potential there for Viper if he was less wasteful with those groups of missionaries, because he lost about 15 that he didn't need to lose. Had he kept those alive, and had he got the trebuchets forward a bit earlier, an imp, once he killed JonSlow's castles, I don't think JonSlow could have done too much, right? I mean, obviously he could have tech switched, but that would have ruined the idea of the strat. It's no fun to tech switch, that's cheating. But either way, you know, it was fun to see Viper do that. It was great to see missionaries get some love. And missionaries is something you so rarely see in Age of Empires 2. I think the only time that you'll see them is with, I think the only time that I've seen them, players would use them to heal. So they would send missionaries around with a group of cav archers or conquistadors to heal. But there we got to see it be somewhat viable. 29 kills for the Viper, and those kills were probably with the units that he converted from JonSlow. 228 units lost for him. Again, that is the worst KD you will ever see in a game that is close. And then 88 units converted. That's really difficult, and I think is only possible because of the Spanish Inquisition. So once again, guys, thank you very much for watching. For everyone who's excited about Hidden Cup 2, I do have more announcements and more info coming out. On YouTube, you guys haven't seen anything official for that yet, so that'll be coming within the next week and a half. I will just say, though, the main event of Hidden Cup 2 you need to put in your calendars if you haven't already. It is the 11th through the 14th of April, and we will have about 7 to 8 hours of the event every single day. The final 2 days will be on a weekend, so if you guys would like to stop by the stream for the first time, that'd be a great day for it. Currently, we have a 16-man qualifier, which is going on for the final 2 spots of Hidden Cup, so it's showcasing the maps, showcasing the players and the settings. Of course, all that stuff will go to YouTube if it's worthy. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you for the love, and don't get converted by the Spanish Inquisition. That was a dumb sign-off line. I'm not recasting the whole thing. All right? That I should have scripted something. I didn't do it. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. See you in the next video.